Okay. So here we have number 2 for 305. Lynn got a $50 gift card to an online music store. She's going to use it to buy an album, and she wants to buy some songs. You can stay. Each song costs $1.29. Totally up to you, though. All right, so if I'm going to buy, Lynn is going to spend $9.99 on an album, plus she's going to buy songs. So if she buys one song, that's $1.29. Two songs would be 2 times $1.29. 3 songs would be 3 times $1.29. We don't know how many she's going to buy. So we're going to write 1.29 times N, right? We're going to use N for the number of songs. And the amount that she spends, she's only got $50. So the amount that she spends has got to be less than or equal to 50. So that would give us this one. All right, let's look at the next question. So we've got graphs, but we have to solve the inequality.
Wait, hold on. What was the second one? Because it glitched out for me.
Oh, okay, so this one, what we got was $9.99. That's how much she spent on the album, plus $1.29 times the number of songs she's going to buy. And that's got to be less than or equal to the amount of money that she has to spend.
Okay, so that's the answer on screen?
Yes. Yeah, that would be it. All right. The next one, we have an inequality to graph, but we have to solve it first. So I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to solve it up here. Negative 3x plus 1 is less than 7. So in order to solve this, remember we have the order of operations, right? The x is being multiplied by negative 3, and then we're adding 1. So when I go backwards, I've got to undo this first. So to undo adding 1, I subtract 1. I'm going to do that from both sides. I get negative 3x is less than 6. Now I go back and I've got to undo multiplying by negative 3. So to undo that, I divide by negative 3. So I get x, and then because I divided on both sides by a negative, I have to flip the inequality, and then 6 divided by negative 3 is negative 2. So here's my solution. So I look for the graph that does not include negative 2, which means it's either this one or this one, right? Those do not include negative 2. Because there's no like greater than or equal to, it can't be equal to negative 2. So it doesn't include negative 2, but it's the numbers that are greater than. So which graph, B or D, has the numbers bigger than negative 2 that are shaded? It would be, yes, good. I like the answer in the chat. Yes, Madison, D, right. D would be the correct answer choice because the 2 is an open circle. I'm not including the negative 2, but I am shading all of the numbers that are greater, all the numbers that go to the right. All right. This is one of the trickiest ones on the whole entire assignment, so I'm glad you're doing it with me. We've got 6x plus 1 minus 3x minus 1. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, listen to this next thing that I'm going to say very carefully. When you see a minus sign in front of parentheses, It means that you are subtracting that whole thing, right? It means that you're going to do minus 3x, but you're also doing minus 1. So the way that we can write this is we can distribute. We can make this a -1 and we can distribute. If you don't like to think of it like that, just think of it as you are subtracting 3x and you are subtracting -1. So it would look like this. Subtract 3x and subtract -1. Right? This looks very much like this answer choice down here. Right? The difference is, can you see what they did here with plus and negative? Plus and negative, remember that subtraction is the same thing as adding the opposite, right? So subtracting 3x is the same as adding a negative. We do keep, change opposite, right? So these are the same. So that means that this one for sure matches what I've got. So I'm going to rewrite it the way that they have it here. 6x plus 1 plus -3x minus -1. What do I do whenever I see a minus and negative? Like two negatives together. Anyone know what I should change that to?
Do you have to change one to an addition?
Yeah, it's keep, change opposite, right? So they both become one big plus sign. Right? And now if I move the terms around a little bit, if I put the like terms together, I've got this one. Now there's one more thing to do, and that is combine like terms. So if you're still here with me, thank you for staying. I want you to type in the chat box, what would this be when I combine like terms? When I do 6x plus -3x, and when I do 1 plus 1. Type it in the chat box. Think about what 6x plus a -3x. Yes, good, Madison. Anyone else want to chime in? So 6x plus a -3x would give me, yes, good, Christian. This would give me 3x, and this would give me 2. So this is the third expression that means the same thing. There are 3 expressions that should be checked for this one. Right? That is the trickiest question in the whole thing. All right, here we've got at midnight. So this is our starting value, right? At midnight, the temperature in a city was 5 degrees Celsius. So 5 degrees Celsius. The temperature was dropping at a steady rate of 2 degrees Celsius per hour. So my temperature is dropping at 2 degrees per hour, right? So if it's 4 hours, I would do 2 times 4. If it was 10 hours, I would do 2 times 10, right? To know how much it's dropping. I don't know the number of hours, so I just put T. Which inequality represents the number of hours past midnight when the temperature was colder than -4 degrees Celsius? -4, colder than -4. That means less than -4. All right, so there's my inequality. So now the next thing that I have to do is I have to solve it because number 6 is going to ask me to graph this. So I'm going to write my order of operations. The t is being multiplied by, it's actually like, it looks like a -2, doesn't it? Multiplied by a -2. And then I'm adding 5, right? That minus in front of the negative, it means the same thing as like, I mean, the minus in front of the 2 means the same thing as a negative. So when I go backwards and I undo, the first thing I have to undo is +5. So I -5. I get -2t is less than -9. -4 minus 5 is the same as -4 plus -5. So I get -9. The next thing I have to undo is the multiplying by -2. So I have to divide by -2. So I get t. Then because I divided by a negative, I've got to flip the inequality. And then a negative divided by a negative equals a positive. Wow, there's a ton of stuff in this question, right? This is a tricky, tricky one too. So when I go to graph this, t is greater than 4.5. Let me get rid of everything else. T is greater than 4.5 is what I got for my answer. I want to look for the number line that has an open circle, right? Because I'm not including 4.5. It's just bigger than 4. It doesn't say equal to. So I want an open circle. And then the numbers that are bigger than 4.5 would be to the right. Right? Open circle on 4.5. I would shade to the right. Okay. All right.
Wait, so then what was number 6?
Number 6 was B.
But wait, isn't that?
Oh, wait, no, just kidding. Just kidding. It was A.
So number 5 is A.
Mm-hmm. Because it's 5 degrees minus 2 degrees every hour. And we want to know how long till it's less than -4.
Oh, okay. So
And then we
now we're on
solved
this
it.
one, right?
Well, we solved it. When we solved number 5, we got x is greater than 4.5 when we solved number 5. So that means that,
But isn't it number 6? It says number 6 on it.
yeah, but it's asking us for our answer for number 5.
Oh, okay.
So when we solved number 5, we got this answer, the solution. And the way you would graph it would be an open circle, right? Because it's not greater than or equal to, it's just greater than. And then we would shade all the numbers that are to the right, because that's where the numbers that are greater than 4.5 are on the number line.
Okay.
So it would be that one. It would be B.
Okay.
All right. For number 7, we're going to go back to what we did last week, which was the distributive property. Right? So that means we have to do -1/4 times -8x. And then we're also going to have to do -1/4 times 12y. Right? We have to multiply each thing inside the parentheses times the term that's on the outside. Right? So let's do the first one. Let's do -1/4 times -8x. So off to the side here, -1/4 times -8. A negative times a negative equals a positive. And I would get 8 on top and 4 on the bottom, which would be 2. So I get 2x. Then for the next part, I have -1/4 times 12. A negative times a positive is a negative. I would get 12 on top and 4 on the bottom. 12 divided by 4 is 3, so I get -3. So here's my answer. Which answer choice, oh, I forgot the y. Whoops, hold on. Which answer choice means the same thing as this? Anyone want to chime in? We know it's not this. We know it's not this. Yes, Madison, good. It would be C, right? Because minusing or subtracting 3y is the same as adding the opposite, right? That's what subtraction is. Subtracting 3y is the same as adding the opposite, right? So that one would be C. All right, let's keep going. This also goes back to last week. So last week we did factoring, right? So we have 36a minus 16. Someone tell me a number that goes into both 36 and 16. Tell me in the chat. What goes into 36 and 16? Give me a number. (36) and 16 are both divisible by? What about 4? Yeah, 4 goes into both. So let's divide by 4, divide by 4. When we write it out, oh yeah, you were just typing it. When we write it out in factored form, the number we divide by goes on the outside. And then the answer to our division problems go on the inside. So 36a divided by 4 is 9a. And minus 16 divided by 4 is 4. All right. Number 9. Tyler is simplifying and we have to find his mistake. All right. So he starts with this. And then what in the world, you guys? Where did he put the where did he get these parentheses from? You can't just stick parentheses in like that. He's separating the 2 from the x. And then he's doing 6 minus 2 to get 4x. You can't do that. The 6 doesn't have an x.
That makes no sense.
Right, it makes no sense. You can't do this and say that it equals 4x. The 6 doesn't have an x. You can't subtract them. They're not like terms. So that is clearly the mistake.
Step 2?
Yes. That is clearly the mistake. All right. Simplify completely. Type your answer with no spaces. All right. So we can combine like terms, right? We have a 4x and we are minusing 2x. What is 4x minus 2x? Go ahead. I know you want to say it, Christian. Yeah, and Madison, you got it in the chat. Right, 2x. And then we're done with those. And then we've got 6 plus 5. 6 plus 5?
11.
11. That's our answer. 2x plus 11. All right. All right, we're almost there. 4
Okay.
more, you guys. Starting from a full tank. Oh, wait, I need to read the situation. Diego's family car holds 14 gallons of fuel. Each day, the car uses this many gallons. A warning light comes on when there's only 1.5 gallons or less, right? So starting from a full tank. Okay, starting from a full tank. So we're starting from 14 gallons. Can Diego's family drive the car for 14 days without the warning light coming on? Well, he uses this many gallons a day, right? So that many gallons a day times 14. Let's see what that equals. 0.6 times 14 is 8.4.
8.5. I'm sorry, 8.4. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I do 14 minus 8.4, you will still have 5.6 gallons left. Yeah, good. Thank you, Christian. Which means no, the light won't come on, right? So can they drive that far without the warning light coming on? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. For the next one, can they drive for 25 days without the warning light coming on? Same kind of problem, right? So we know that it holds 14 gallons. We know that it's 0.6 per day times 25. So 0.6 times 25.
I see you're looking at the calculator.
Yes, I am. Is 15, right?
Yeah.
So they are going to run out. So no, they cannot drive for that long. Forget the warning light. They're going to be stuck on the side of the road because that's like negative gallons. They're going to be out of gas. Which inequality represents the situation? What do you guys think? Think about what we did. We took the 14, right? We took 0.6 times the number of days. And then what did we do with those two? Like the first problem, I got 8.4, right? And then what did I do with the 8.4? Let's go back. Let's go back. So here we got 8.4, right? We found that in 14 days, 14 days times 0.6 was 8.4. And we know that the car has 14 gallons. So then we subtracted 8.4 to figure out how many gallons would be left in the tank, right? Because we wanted to make sure that this number was larger than 1.5, right? Because if we get to 1.5, that warning light comes on. But if we still have 5.6 gallons left in the tank, no warning light, right? So once we figured out how much was used, we subtracted it from the total amount in the tank to figure out how much was left. Does that refresh your memory? All right, so which inequality would it be? What do you guys think? What do you think? I'm going to let you answer this one. Madison and Christian, my all-stars. What do you think? Yeah, Christian, it is. What do you think, Madison? Well, you know we subtracted, right? So you can eliminate these two. So the question is, when we get that number, we're looking to see if it's more than 1.5 or less than 1.5. The light comes on when we have 1.5 or less, right, in the tank. Like if we had 1 gallon, the light would be on. If we had 1.2 gallons, the light would be on. So when this number is less than 1.5, the light's going to come on. Right? Are we good with that? All right. And then the last question, after how many days will the warning light come on? So guess what? We have to solve this inequality. So 14 minus 0.6D is less than 1.5. All right. So we're going to, I know with the two of you, I don't feel like I need to go through the order of operations, but just in case, we start with the variable, right? That variable is being multiplied by a negative 0.6. Then we are adding 14, right? I know it doesn't look like it, but this is a positive 14, right? So we have to undo that first. So I'm going to subtract 14 from both sides. I get negative 0.6D. What is 1.5 minus 14?
13.5.
Good guess.
13. Negative 13.
Good guess also. But it's 1.5, right? So yes, negative 12.5. Then the last, so I did that. Then the last step is to undo this. So I divide. So 12.5 divided by 0.6. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. And because I divided on both sides by a negative, I have to flip. I got 20.
Yep.
What'd you get?
I got 20.
0.833333333, right?
Yeah.
So
what do we do? Do we have to round it up?
well, it has to be a whole number, obviously, based on the answer choices. And it has to be greater than 20.833333. What's the only answer choice? Yeah, that's the only one. Yes. So you do round because of the 8, but that's not the only reason, Madison, because if this said D is less than 20.833333, then I would say that it needs to be 20. Right? So it's really more based on what the inequality says.
Okay.
Okay. All right. All right, that's it.
Let's see what I get.
All right.
It is
That'll be 100.
Okay, I'm looking through.
View results.
Yeah.